Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 291. Is the mattress industry doomed? My friend Steve Houk will join us in a few minutes. Let's pay the bills really quick. If you have not bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? Guys, are you really have that much traffic that you don't need any more ideas on traffic? Sounds like a sales book, but it's not. It's a book on marketing. It's a book on business. And the best compliment I ever got was from my friend Doug Stewart. Take the word furniture and mattress out of the book. It's a great business and a great marketing book. If you want a sales book, I've got one for you. Miles and Miles of Retail Selling Greatness. This is 3 years worth of half-hour sales meetings on a Saturday. So if you're a sales manager and you need to do a meeting every week, every Saturday morning, like I used to do, this is the book for you. And just a little bit of information on that book. It's not just my book. I know Chris wants me to move on, but I don't want to. I asked what changed. What changed? What could we update? And so I invited 11 of my friends, Chris Tahaney, Steve Carnes, Justin Trumbo, Mel Opp, Brent Batterman, Jonathan DiPrenzio, Keith Cassinguy, Scott Vaughn, Mark Klingenberg, Jeff Giannakovo, and Chris Tahaney to write chapters in the book. And they did a wonderful job. I'm really happy with how this book turned out. It is a book that will help make your salespeople better. It spends time on the mental aspect as well as the actual skill sets and all of that good stuff. So let's pay the bills. Steve, thank you for sponsoring the show. Greg, Jen, you too. And if you guys want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, Mattress Industry Network group is the place to be. Steve does a great job with this group, and I get in there a few times a week. You want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, this is the place to be, and it's free. Did I say it's free? Hit that QR code and join, and say hi when you get in there. Everybody's in here. It doesn't, whether you're a store owner, you're a retail sales pro that works on the retail floor, you own a manufacturing company, you're a vice president of sales, you're a sales rep. Everybody's welcome. If you're in the mattress industry, we want you in this group. So join the group. Over 3,300 strong right now. So, and growing every day. So join the group, and you don't have to be alone in our mattress industry. This is a great place to network and to learn by other people's mistakes instead of your own. So join the group. And what else we got? Oh, MRT. This is my favorite paid group that I belong to. For under $100 a month, you get free trainings. You get you get a community of people that do what you do, who are committed to the mattress business, making it better and creating a better experience for your customer. It doesn't matter if you're a single store retailer, a multi-store retailer, a furniture retailer who's serious about the mattress business, a mattress store, if you're an industry influencer, an industry leader, or you're a factory rep like me, come on in. We I joined the group. It's a great group. And like I said, I think it's under $100 a month. If you hit that QR code, I think you get a month free. So join Mattress Retailer Toolkit. You don't have to be alone on this journey. What else we have? Oh, this project's near and dear to my heart. Chris Tahaney, my friend and my ex-boss, he is writing a book that really illustrates what we do as an industry. It's going to be consumer facing and industry facing. And if you have a success story of how you change someone's life for the better, they're waking up happy and pain-free. They're having a happier, healthier, more productive life now that they've got a sleep system from your store. Get the story into Chris. You may not fancy yourself a great writer, but if you email what you've got to Chris Tahaney at mattressrsastories@gmail.com, he will write it up, send it back to you for your approval. And if your story is chosen, it will be in this book. So guys and gals, get behind this. If you got a superstar salesperson and they're really super modest and they're never going to write it up and send it in for them. We should be doing everything we can as store owners to elevate our salespeople and to make sure they have as high of a profile as possible in our industry. Success breeds success, and share those success stories, guys and gals. And Chris, thank you for doing this. Who's that? Is that Steve Houk? Is the great one with us?
Oh, great one. I don't think so. Oh. Everybody has to have a theme song. So our industry now has a theme song.
Get them lighted up, mark it down, slash the margin. Another online brand says we just get started. Everybody's half off, the sale never stops while another big box chain buys the top of your search. Consolidation, liquidation, private equity dreams. Everybody chasing growth while they got the machine. Manufacturers smiling, same when you partner. Then open down the street and compete even harder. Call the rep, call the bank, call the landlord too. 15 new stores just open next to you. Mark it up, mark it down, it's the price we pay. Another independent fades away. Another independent fades away.
You can share it. Well, I'll definitely share that one. I'll share it later. So anybody that wants to hear it, get on Mattress Industry Network. I will share the rest of the song. But ultimately, it's about the topic we're here to discuss today, Pete. Is the mattress industry doomed? And the simple answer is maybe. Depends what side you're on, right? It depends on what side you're on. Is it doomed?
My favorite answer to any question is it depends. Depends on what you give weight to. So let's get into it.
I prefer absolutely maybe. It is doomed.
Are you 100% maybe?
Maybe. Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's just do this then. Why is it doomed?
Well,
we're going to take that side first. Why is it doomed?
We can start with a number of factors, right? I mean, the biggest one is, of course, my arch nemesis, which I get accused of spreading a lot of hate against. That big red sign down the street from everybody with the last word called firm on it, right? And what happened in that process, or the next process of consolidating with the largest spring manufacturer in the United States. So lots of reasons of why and who our competitors are, but ultimately I think we're our own worst enemy, Pete. What do you think?
At times, this industry, we are our own worst enemy, and consolidation is very real. It's a very real factor. Commoditization is a kissing cousin to consolidation. They seem to feed each other.
You know, when I talk to, so I went through a lot of things. Of course, I got a list over here on my right, so of reasons why. But consolidation in our industry is huge, right? And I'm not immune to this because I work for a brand that owns a lot of brands, right? I rep for a brand that, as you do, right? They have a lot of brands under one roof, and that's happened, and it continues to happen. So, what do we do as independent retailers to survive consolidation? Man, I mean, anybody's guess is as good as mine, but I think I've got a pretty good playbook of what we're doing, at least at Boise Mattress. We're not doing business with the guys that tell us how to do business, right? We do business our way, and we're hoping to build our brand through that. And I think, if anything, I'll take that away from Jeff Giannakovo over the years. Has definitely pushed. You are your brand, right? So we have. I mean, if you go to my website, right, literally, I have every brand.
Did you hold on?
That doesn't start with T
time
or
out,
F.
time out. Did you just give props to Giannakovo?
I did.
You have really grown. Listen, I want to unpack something a little bit, Steve. Okay, when Mattress Industry Network started, okay, tell me what brands you had on your floor at that moment in time.
2020, SSB.
SSB.
Yeah, that was pretty much it, Pete. Just SSB.
Okay, so now, when was the next major change? Or, let's just
the next major change. So the biggest thing that, I mean, well, I won't say, maybe 2020, SSB Dream Cloud Nectar was starting, right?
Got
that was a huge factor for us. So they were our first D2C brand that we brought in.
Yep.
And then we transitioned from SSB to TSI.
Okay.
And then we transitioned completely away from them by no choice of our own, right? So also why they're not my friends.
So who is on your floor right now?
I mean, I have a pretty heavy 3Z.
You should.
So we have Helix.
If you didn't, you shouldn't be repping it.
We have, you sit there, right? We have Helix, Lisa, Nola, Birch, Bear. Brooklyn is huge growing segment for us, but got to get caught by Cloudflare. I mean, our biggest, right? We got Puffy, we've Wink Bed. We are if you Google mattresses, and I was just listening to Wake Up Call with Mark and Mike this morning, their new episode. And I love those guys and I agree with them, but damn, it is not my business model of what we talk about, because we play into a lot of the things that are hated in the industry, right? When it comes to direct to consumer mattress brands, we are the place for people to come try direct to consumer brands in our market.
Well, you're not alone. There's some really great
it's a
retailers.
Successful model. I mean, we have tons of people that are making lots of money doing it, and then I have lots of other people that are.
RJ does it, right? RJ Williams.
RJ's, of course, a friend, and so I think they do pretty well. I know he's in the comments somewhere, but since Chris told me I had to close all my tabs because he wanted me to be fluid here.
All right. RJ says, "Oh boy, here we go."
So, yes.
And Scott Vaughn says, "Depends. Are going to be our underwear someday." Yeah, and I'm a little closer to that than my friend Steve here.
You know, I prefer to go out straight with high blood pressure and a heart attack. You know, if I have my way, I will go quick and silently, thanks to my high blood pressure. So
Yeah, I think
no depends in my future.
cool. Patrick Tinney says, greetings from Bancroft, Canada. Hey, Patrick, how are you? Give me a copy of your new book. Let's get you on the show, Pat.
Give me a copy of your new book just because we're friends. No, I'll buy one.
That book is the
I will buy it if you send it to me autographed.
So Steve, do you know what his new book's about?
No.
Right,
I mean, I do briefly, but of course,
it's called The Book on Books. It's called The Book on Books.
Writing. Yes.
So it's perfect for you because you need to write a book. I'll be the first in line to read this thing, this novel. If you put your real life story,
most of my life plays out like fiction. So how I ended up in the mattress industry, I have no idea. How I've stayed here is, I mean, beyond anybody's guess. And I mean, how we continue to now. I mean, the thing I love about it right now is, my oldest boy is now in the business, and he's kicking ass for us. And I mean, it's super. That part's fun. And my younger boy. And I mean, we run a family business, and that's the way that it's. If you can pull up the Mattress Industry Network group, you can see the awesome picture of what our team did a week ago in a day. So the Spartan run. I almost wore my Spartan shirt, but I won't lie, that run almost killed me. I only did the 5K, and I swear I was going to die. So it was one should train cardio before doing a Spartan run. I'll just let you know that. If it would have been a push-up competition, I would have won hands down, but it was not.
Yeah, but that was complicated by the fact that, you could not stand the thought of certain people beating you. So you push yourself probably 10 times harder than you should have.
Well, so my whole team qualified for bonuses. So
nice.
They all got a bonus for beating me. That was their motivation. My motivation was I was in the military, so I've already know what my body can do. I've already pushed my body to its limits. And I will tell you, the limit at 21 is a lot different than the limit at 43. I mean, so that's me after 2 IV bags. So, I mean, I never got an IV bag in my life in the military. I mean, well, that's not true. We would practice giving ourselves IVs after runs because it was fun. But I never intentionally needed an IV bag after a run, but I definitely did last week.
Well, I'm glad you made it to the show, brother. Yeah. All right. We got consolidation. We got commoditization. What else we have? Why are we doomed?
A lot. I mean, consolidation's the biggest part, right? And a lot of it is also lack of planning for the next generation. How many mom and pops are just closing up shop instead of transitioning their business to the next generation, whether that's management or family? So our industry isn't sexy. It's not necessarily fun. And if you grew up in retail, which I didn't, I've never been exposed to retail before I got into the retail business, but now my kids have, so now I can ask them their opinion. Like, if you grew up in retail, it's kind of a shitty gig, right? We work most holidays. We work every weekend. We work,
nights,
evenings, right? So, I mean, it makes it difficult to make it to sporting events and birthday parties. And like, what on earth is desirable about our industry? So that makes it very difficult to want to convince family members to stay here. So how do we do that? Pete, you wrote a book. You wrote 2 books. How do we do it, Pete?
How do we what? Not be doomed?
How do we keep the next generation coming?
Well, this is going to sound like a commercial for your line. And And guys and gals, I mean, there's a lot of people watching this that have been on my show. You guys know one thing about my show. It's not rehearsed at all, ever. We don't even talk
Really,
about
I've
it.
never even met you before, have I? Pete?
Oh, stop. That wouldn't be true. So listen, I remember Scott Vaughn I love Dream Cloud. I love Nectar. And I wanted to puke. And I love Scott. I love him like a brother. And he finally dropped them. And I said, well, why'd you drop them? He goes, because my margins went down, 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 down. One of the advantages of 3Zs, at least the Helix brand and some of the other brands, I don't know about every brand, is you're going to create some traffic and you're going to get margin. So that is very important. This idea of you getting traffic but no margin does not work well in the long term. And that's why a lot of people have gotten away from Dream Cloud and Nectar.
And I'm not even going to beat our own bush here. I'll stay away from this. I'll just isolate where I was. Not in July because I didn't go to see these guys. But let's just say I went to a top manufacturer, and it didn't start with a T, so it wasn't them. We were in their showroom in January, and they asked me what I thought, and I said, "Well, what are we getting on these, right?" And he's like, "Well, you're at 50 points," and I had to break it down simply. The world we live in today cannot survive on 50 points. We can't. I mean, if you can, kudos to you. I mean, really kudos, because if you're thriving on 50 points, I don't see any way, shape, or form that your business is going to grow, that your income's going to grow. It's very difficult. By the time we factor in, finance cost, marketing cost, now, return cost, all sorts of employee costs, man. I'm pretty cheap. My employees, I like to think they get paid well for what they do, but I mean, I run it on the cheap side compared to guys like RJ, so it's very difficult to factor in all the rising cost, commercial real estate cost, right? Every year our costs go up. I mean, most commercial leases do, like they take a step every year. You can't continue to do that if you don't grow margin too. So if you're not getting 60% margin today, you're in a tough spot. So I say 60 is the new 50. I think that's where all manufacturers need to go. And if you aren't there, to be fair, like if you aren't there for me, I won't do business with you anymore. We're in the process of replacing a manufacturer on our floor because they just don't get the fact that margin is key for us.
Yeah. Fawad Zavari from Exclusive Furniture Top 100. I agree with Steve. 56 is the minimum margin where we need to live in. And I would say, I know Fawad, and I know he's analyzed his numbers, and he's also in the real estate business, as you're well aware of, Steve. And so he has some advantages that other people don't have, but I agree 1,000% with what you said. 60 is what 50 used to be, and 70 is really ideal. We need more margin than ever before. So thank you, Fawad. Appreciate that. And Chris Tahaney, can't call you guys legends anymore. You guys are icons. You're an icon, Steve. That's awesome. I can't believe I'm sharing this screen with an icon. Always great to see you guys side by side on the big screen. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, he must be in the office.
Yeah, well,
watching us up on the big screen.
That dude should be in the office every now and again, because he's running like a chicken with his head cut off half the time.
He definitely spends more time on the road than any one man should.
Yes, I would agree with that 1,000%.
Except for you, Pete. You still are a road warrior. So
I am.
don't fool anybody. As soon as the show is over, Pete is packing the car and he's
Car's
headed
already
out.
packed.
Oh, it's
Car's
already
been
packed.
packed. It's been packed since last night.
He's headed out as soon as the show is over.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, don't let anybody know that. That's our secret. Just us friends here talking. All right.
So another reason why mattress industry is doomed, Pete, I'll throw this out there, of course, has to be private equity, right? Private equity, buying up, consolidating. And that's not just manufacturing, right? That's retail as well. So I know there's a huge chain on the East Coast that's being driven by private equity expansion, and that's huge, right? I mean, I know it competes a lot with a lot of my customers. So I mean, it's a huge business. And then we can look at the growth of some of these, top 100s in the furniture space that are really doubling into the mattress industry too. So ultimately, every manufacturer wants to be in a top 100, and that's costing independent retailers. There's only so many top 100s. I just want to let the manufacturers know there's only 100 top 100s.
Oh no, they're absolutely convinced there's 500 top 100s.
Yes, and there's
absolutely.
40, and there's 40
you listen to these desk jockeys. You listen to these desk jockeys pontificate. It's amazing. Like, do you even hear yourself talking? Anyway,
100 top 100s, or they wouldn't call it top 100, and there's only 40 spots on each floor. So go fight for it. But in the meantime, when somebody displaces you on the top 100's floor, don't forget what got you there. And hopefully you still have a product that's viable to independent retail at the end.
I'm glad you mentioned private equity affects retail as well, and the supply side as well. So all three sides are being affected by private equity. And, it's we as an industry, and all industries for that matter, Steve, we do better when we have a long-term plan. We do better when our focus is building a business for the long term, a business that we can be proud of, a business that has our name on it, a business that will go on for generations. When you take that out of the equation and it just becomes short-term profit, and I want to, your song cracks me up, dude. Like, it's a 5-year plan. Sometimes a 5-year plan, sometimes it's a 3-year plan. I've seen companies just come in and rape and maim a huge retailer, and they were gone within 6 months. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, that's theft. Like, you guys get away with it because you guys wear suits and dresses, but that's theft. When you guys go in and you do that to a company, and then you put all those employees out of business, and you put all of those retail customers at risk for their warranties. So I think private equity has been very destructive. And yes, if private equity continues to assert itself in our industry, we just might be doomed.
It's a tough one, right? I mean, and to be fair, the FTC isn't doing us any favor by allowing manufacturers to become the largest retailer either. Right. So, I mean, and that's a huge, I mean, we're not just talking about them, right? We're not just talking about the big red sign. I mean, there's a lot of brands that have their own stores. I mean, you work for a manufacturer that has a D2C brand that has their own stores. Mine doesn't, but that doesn't mean that they can't, right? Casper does, Purple does. I mean, we saw Purple actually performs better in their own stores, which, I mean, they should. One would think that somebody with the right amount of propaganda can convince people that the mattress that they came in to look at is decent, right? So they should be able to sell mattresses better in their own stores. But those people are in our neighborhoods, right? I have a store, and right across the street from my store is a Purple store right across the street from me. Granted, I love selling against that store in particular, but it's a high performing store. We can go look at it's a publicly traded company. I know it's one of their best. Same with the Sleep Number store across the street. It's also one of the best in the market. So I know I chose a great location because those stores kick some major ass in our market. And I feel like anytime we go head to head, we have an advantage over them. So that's a huge, huge thing. But that happens in multiple markets, right? Those guys are competing head to head in every market. That's every major market anyway. I don't know how many markets your guys' D2C brand is in, but I'm fortunate they're $5.
It's increasing every time I look at it. It's increased. I'm like, really? Got that many? Interesting.
Yeah, they're 5 hours for me. So as of now, team over there, stay away from my market. Or if you do, at least put them in across the street. I'd appreciate that.
So we got consolidation, we got private equity. How about the talent that we're pulling in? Like, do you think that when, someone says, come into our business, you're going to make a full-time income with a part-time effort? Do you think that that's a good, that's going to pull the highest quality people into our industry?
Well, so I'm going to back this up. And I'm not sure where you're going with this, but I'll go ahead and go here with the low cost of entry into our industry, right? So the number of businesses that come into our industry that are these 50 to 80% off models. We'll just leave it at that, right? Where, yes, if you come into our industry, you can make $1,000 a week, which is a hell of a lot more than maybe you were working at McDonald's, right? But is there room in our industry for these people? Obviously they're marketing to the right people, and I would say a lot of it is because legit retailers have abandoned the bottom. I know, Steve Ferguson would say that. Fawad, I'm sure Fawad, you give me a thumbs up if I'm right. Like, I think a lot of retailers have abandoned the bottom, just conceding that business to either these discount retailers or online brands, saying screw it, we're just going to maximize what we do at the top. But ultimately, at some point, we know the top is going to continue to spend. Where that goes and what percentage that becomes remains to be seen. But everybody is going to be fighting, just like brands are fighting for top 100 floor space. We're all going to be fighting for the same 10% of the market, and then we're going to concede 90%. I would say that's kind of a shitty business model. So we've, at least in our stores, one thing I'm very fortunate to have Brooklyn Bedding. One thing Brooklyn Bedding we've done in the last 6 months, in particular on our floor, that has helped us increase our close rate, is bring in some of that $7.99, $9.99 competitively branded product that is sold and marketed to the consumer. That, and we do the same thing with Dream Cloud Nectar.
So funny. You say $9.99, $7.99 as if it's like $2.99. It's so funny because things have changed so fast.
$7.99 is I
know.
You go back 10 years ago when I was selling a $2.99 pillow top, and now, to be fair, I could not keep my store open at $2.99 pillow tops, right? If I sold 1,000 $2.99 pillow tops, I'd just be creating a shitload of work, and not like that's. Well, I don't even know how much money. I would not be making enough money.
Dan White, my former teammate at Protect the Bed. Love the candor in this conversation. Often not enough of it. Thanks, guys. Well, me and Steve get together. You don't have to worry about that, Dan. Either one of us.
I I used to have a slogan that I
ourselves.
had up in my store, Pete. It said, "It's not that I can and others can't. It's that I will and others won't." Right. So that's just when you're dealing with me, you put a microphone somewhere in front of me or something. Just understand that I'll say the stuff that nobody else wants to say. Probably, and I really have. I mean, I hate to plug another podcast, but Wake Up Call with Mike and Mark. Like, I think that they're much more politically correct about where they're going with what they say than I personally am. But I think we're saying the same things. Our industry is challenged, and ultimately, it's because I don't even know if we're doing what's right for the consumer most of the time.
Well, that's a very interesting question. By the way, I love the fact that Mike and Mike are doing what they're doing. I think it's great. And I completely support it.
I think Mark is, I think he's one of the most creative guys in the industry.
Mark was the very first guy that had a blog in our industry. So I'm really happy to see those two together. Really happy to see what they're doing. And I'm never going to be politically correct. So somebody has to do it.
Hit on one more point of the death of traditional retail and the reason why. We got national chains, regional chains, manufacturers opening stores. Of course, we got the Amazon product. But something that we don't, I think we just don't have the capability, right? Most mattress store owners don't even know what they don't know. And this is the difficult thing. We try and offload it. We hire companies. I'm guilty of hiring companies to do these things and then not getting me the results that I demand, right? But marketing is huge. Data is huge, right? So that's when we talk about what D2C brands do, or the big red sign does. I should like trademark that, the big red sign, just so everybody knows who I'm talking about, the big red sign.
Everybody knows who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know, but don't you think it'd be a great trademark?
I think it already is trademarked, my friend.
The
David Grange says, love the straight talk. And yes, margin, mix, and balance sales is the money talk. 100%, David. Thank you for being here, brother.
So data, right? The amount of data and what you do with your data is vital. I don't think as independent retailers, we are prepared to collect enough data and even know what it means, right? So if you don't know where your customers are coming from, if you don't know your return on investment, there's so much out there today where we can track customers, and a lot of people will say, "Oh, this is an exclusive technology to us," and it's just complete BS. It's not exclusive technology to anybody. We can tell if we're serving ads in a general market and what that looks like in the store, right? But you have to be collecting that data. You also have to be collecting. I think there's one key piece of data that everybody better collect, and that's the number of door swings you get. And I still believe there's only one honest way to do that, and that's with some form of camera tracking system. All the big retailers do it. All the retailers that are successful do it. Anybody that keeps holding out, thinking that, oh, well, it's just me, or it's just me and my wife, or me and one other guy, we can write it down. You're lying to yourself. I don't care. I know, because I had to make this admission in January after I put the camera in December. I realized Steve was full of shit. I was lying to myself. The first time in 10 years I ever had a closing rate below 50%. And I needed somebody to give me the truth. The only person that could give me the truth was data. So
that is huge. That is incredibly huge. Fawad says, 100% agree. We need to continue to go after that customer under $9.99, because once they are gone, they are gone. Wow. There's a lot of truth in that statement, Fawad.
when there's some great ways to go after that customer. So one of the things I would say, and again, I don't need Fawad to pat me on the back for this one, but I would say if you're going after that customer, the key to that customer is stock, right? Like you have to have things because that customer is a cash and
Take it with you.
They want
Yep.
stock.
Yep.
I mean, and I have enough data, back to data. We track all of this. I know exactly how much money that cost me by not having certain things in stock. So, and in particular, the customer that spends over $2,000 doesn't have a problem waiting a week or two. The customer spending under $9.99 is the most impatient customer in the world. If you can't get it for them, they'll go to Amazon and get it tomorrow.
Yep, 100%. Stephen Ferguson, aka Ferg. I agree with Fawad and Steve on this. Today, it is not if you should go for $9.99, 70% of the purchases in the industry. The question is, how do you do it? That process is vital for retail survival. Yep. Thanks, Ferg. And Dan White says, well said, Fawad. All right. So I think we're working our way out of why we're doomed. And I think your first thing that you said, Steve, I think it's incredibly huge, is data. You need data. And don't assume that data isn't for you if you're a small retailer. No matter how big or small you are, you need it and you need to get your hands on it. And I just want to unpack this just a little bit. You know, you were saying to yourself, you know, your closing rate is whatever you said it was. But then the first time,
my closing rate in December was 38%, Pete. Granted, I still did over 100,000 in sales. 38% close rate, over 100,000 in sales, one store, right?
and was that the first time you had the cameras in?
So that was the first month we put the cameras in. So if I were looking at that, right, I'm thinking $100,000 a month in December, like that's a great month. Like
it's a great month.
It beat the month, it beat the year before that. I mean, we were it was a great month.
It is a great month.
It was, but how much better could it have been? Right? I mean, we were at 38%. If we would have been at 45, like those are the numbers that move the needle, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's the difference between success and failure. That's the difference between buying another truck or hiring another employee or not. Between opening another location or not opening another location.
Okay. If we're going to survive this, not be doomed as an industry, besides data, what else do we got to do?
Look, I mean, we really got to focus on who our partners are, right? So I think that's going to be the biggest, it's going to be the biggest thing we can do, right? And we've done, I mean, Chris pulled up my website earlier, right? We represent so many brands on our floor. And part of it is because I refuse to give up more than, I mean, granted, 3Z's has multiple brands, right? But my goal is to not give any one particular brand, use Helix or we can use Brooklyn Bedding, over 20% of our floor. Because I don't want my business to be reliant on one. I'm not a one-trick pony, right? There's brands that come in and they demand 70% of your floor. And we all know that out of that 70% of your floor, 10% of it is what's making you all the money of all that stuff. So you've got 60% of your floor is dead weight. Quit making it dead weight. Balance shit out. Let the consumer decide which brands you carry. Chris
Stone, I want a banner made like right now. Balance that shit out.
Balance it out. We cannot become so reliant on, and so another example of this, another example.
I love you, Chris.
Dormeo, right? So they closed SSB bought the Dormeo plant in Texas. and closed it down. Like, imagine being that retailer that was 100% reliant on Dormeo, private label product. Now, where do you go? Well, you have one option. Now you're going to go to SSB if you're going to continue with that thing, but that plant doesn't exist. So now you're forced to, I would just plug Sleeptronic. That's where you go, in my opinion, because I like the team at Sleeptronic. So I would say go there. But there are people that can't or won't or whatever. So, I mean, if you are too reliant on one product, you're screwed. Or they can put the axe in you, like the Big Red Sign did to me last year when I told them I didn't want to give money to my competition. Right?
That was 2 years ago.
Well, no, it was February. It was February 25.
Okay.
January. It was
a year
January
and a half.
Yeah, January market.
Make me a liar for 6 months.
Yeah, it was last year.
Who are friend?
To me,
that's
friend
are you?
So, I mean, I only remember this, Pete, because it's pretty remarkable when you have a better President's Day sale than you did the year prior, when 60% of your floor is empty because you bagged it and tagged it and told them to come get it. So when half your floor is empty, you don't forget.
So let's talk about this. And I know this is some people are going to fall off their chair. What are the most devastating lies that retail store owners tell themselves that create more pain and anguish for themselves and their businesses than any other ones? What are the lies they tell themselves? What are the lies that they buy from? I mean, listen, let's just talk about it. I mean, there are manufacturers beat themselves on the chest and say, you can't be in business without us. They do. They have.
I mean, the fact that, I mean, this is like, this is like decade worth of work too, right? So when we look at planning, but the biggest lie that is told in this industry is that you need the Big Red Sign, right? I mean, to be fair, I was in favor of them going completely out of the industry. I think that would have made a stronger independent market, would have made better. I'm not ever in favor of monopolies or any version of what we have today. So it's a unique scenario today. The FTC failed us.
Boy, did they. I never thought I would see that.
You don't have,
I was waiting for him
to
come
in. The great news is today, and I got reassurance from a customer this weekend when I was selling a mattress. He said, look, we bought one of those 20 years ago. We bought a new one 5 years ago because the first one was so great. And he said, that mattress is not the same mattress. And I said, no, we haul off way more of those mattresses that are 5 years and under than we ever did. When we used to haul off one, they were always 20 years old, right? So cost engineering is another thing that is ruining our industry. That's Costco. Part of that is, the consumer is, everything is more disposable. Nobody lives in one, like my grandma's been in her house since 1962, right? I've lived in my house for the last 3 years. We were just talking about, like, I lived in the house prior to that 3 years. I lived in the house prior to that 4 years. Like, we move as a society more frequently. So things become more and more disposable to us. So we're looking at a different buying cycle from the consumer. And right now, I think half of them are content with buying something and chucking it in 5 years. So
100%. Well, listen.
Yeah, they want a lifetime warranty, of which they'll never keep the mattress for longer than 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, 100%. There's a manufacturer that they used to go out there and beat themselves on the chest and say, our memory foam is 6 pounds, our memory foam is 8 pounds. That same manufacturer, I don't believe has made such a claim in the last 10 years. And I asked somebody that I really respect in this industry. So I said, So what do you think it is? You think it's 4-pound? And he looked at me and said, there is no way they're even using 4-pound foam in those beds. So we'll leave that there. So get data.
Let's introduce the next. I mean, we got 10 minutes left.
We do.
So let's roll a commercial for me, would you, Chris?
What commercial? Do you know something that I don't know?
He has a commercial. He knows. He's on it.
Gosh. My show's out of control, folks.
Shopping for a mattress shouldn't feel this complicated. Start with a store you can trust. Best Mattress Store Near Me helps you discover trusted independent mattress stores right in your community. Compare stores, reviews, brands, and more before you ever leave home. Then visit a local sleep expert who can actually help you find the right mattress. Better sleep starts with finding the right store.
I love that. So
good. I mean, ultimately, because of the Mattress Industry Network, I was trying to think of a way I could truly help independent mattress retailers, right? So this is a huge thing. I really wanted to, I wanted to put together a directory of everybody for a long time. We've done it for manufacturers now with mattressindustrynetwork.com. But then I wanted to say, how can we truly click on mine there, Chris, if you can. Scroll up. Sorry, other way. So the cool thing is, so if we look at this confidence score, go down just a little bit more. So, and I'm not done tweaking this, my profile, for example, but this is just an example of where should we, one of these interesting things is we're always trying to get, we're always trying to get people to find the right mattress. They find the right mattress online, then they come see you, right? So we're working this. This one is in reverse. So we are going to help you find the right mattress retailer and then the right mattress. So hopefully the goal here is we're going to reverse the trend where we can push customers to first look at who we're doing business with and then what they're selling, not what they sell, and then who do we do business with. So it's something that I think the industry has not done well on a large scale. I mean, there's plenty of these sites that push mattress directories, top best mattresses. And I kind of thought, hey, we could do that. We could really lean into these brands and we could create our own list. And then we could base that list, based if, hey, if you sell purple, this is the retailer in your area that sells purple. But then I thought, why would we do that? Let's just start with, let's find the best damn retailer in your area and tell you what they sell, and you can go check it out.
I love that. So good.
So it's still a work in progress. Go join. If you're a mattress store owner, go join. If you're a brand, you can also join. I want as many brands as we can get listed on these store websites. So each store has a landing page. Our goal is we're going to build out content. So if you went, don't click on RJ's. That's just proof he doesn't follow instructions. So
what's what with the 3% with RJ and Tara? What is up with that?
Because I told him to go finish his profile, but he has not done it. But go down to the bottom for me, Chris. So these articles, right? So up one more, right there. So we're going to create these guides and articles of why you need to be shopping at a mattress store. So I've already had a friend of mine that's on this tell me that, hey, one of the things, and we'll work on the formatting, we'll make it a little more sexy. But I've already had a friend of mine send me a picture of AI recommending their location based on best mattress store near me. So the goal is we're going to reassure the customer that they're doing business in the right place. We're going to help the customer make those right decisions and then push them straight to the store. I have nothing, I have no point of me selling a mattress. to your customer. So our goal is only direct people to mattress stores. If you go all the way up to the top, that's kind of the first step in mattress shopping.
That's awesome, Steve.
So yeah, the right store is the first step.
Yep.
Because we all know, every one of us know for a fact, you cannot, there's no one size fits all mattress yet.
Steve, thank you for taking this project on. This is huge. So I have something maybe to wrap our show up. So when we're talking to store owners about the things that they should be doing, things that they shouldn't be doing, one of the biggest mistakes that I see, and feel free to disagree with me and sub in whatever you think it is I see smaller stores trying to behave like bigger stores with the broad assumption that if I just do what some of the big guys do, that I'll get the results. And the problem is the big guys can do a lot of things that they do. Some of the big guys in the mattress industry don't do everything right. Some of them actually make mistakes that would kill a smaller retailer. And Dan,
money is definitely a benefit, right? I mean,
it's huge.
I mean, I always tell people, like, when you're getting started, you cannot afford to let somebody walk. But I mean, me today, I mean, I tell my guys, hey, we really need to find the 10% of customers that we don't want to do business with, because they create 80% of the work for us, right? Like that 10% becomes quite the pain in the ass. So we don't want to deal with Karen, and we're okay walking Karen, but you rewind my business 10 years, I never let anybody walk. That was the goal, right? Like 100% close rate. Today, I recognize it's not healthy, for my personal health. That's not healthy for my business. It's not healthy. But I mean, you can't turn away money. But yeah, I mean, don't be an imitator. I mean, you want to imitate me, that's okay, as long as you're not in my market. We'll give you some success. But there's lots of ways to be different. I think the biggest mistake independent retailers today are, like, they're doing business the way they did it before. Like, I mean, the internet's, I mean, Craigslist and stuff. I just remember, I mean, it's been popular since 2000s. The internet has changed. The way we do business has changed, but a lot of people have not changed. So the consumer today is being programmed, and we're not following the program anymore. So if you don't get on the program of where the consumer is, you're going to be in trouble. And that's the only thing I ever learned from Zig Ziglar is you don't sell customers what they need. You sell them what they want. So you help them find what they want, or they'll never be happy.
Steve, real quick, when you started in the business, at the very beginning, what media did you use? And then I want you to share with us what media you use today.
I mean, Craigslist was granted, it was my model, right? We were the stack them deep, sell them cheap, by appointment guy. So we were the 50 to 80% off. Today, I mean, really the only money I spend today is on Google. That's it. That's my entire budget, is just Google.
And in between there, were there any media that you tried and you just worked your way away from?
I mean, Facebook still works to a degree. It just depends on what you're like. I mean, it depends on how you measure things, right? Are you measuring things in sales, or are you measuring things in the amount of likes? Because I mean, the thing that I learned was likes are expensive, and they don't translate to moving the needle for me. So, I mean, I bust RJ's balls all the time, and he busts mine, because my social media game when it comes to my business is very weak. And I say the same thing to him. I said, look at your social media game is on point, freaking awesome. How many people did it reach last week that weren't in our industry, right? Like if we were talking about just your store, how many local residents is it meeting? So if you're not boosting it, which is, turning it into an ad on the platform, you're not, or unless you have a huge local organic market, like, I mean, Facebook seems to be a huge waste of time for me. It's not returned the same amount of money. But I know there's guys that spend $10,000 on freaking Facebook all the time. And I mean, I hate to see what that money could do if they spent it better.
Well, Steve, we ran out of time as usual. I'd like to thank RJ Williams, David Grange, Scott Vaughn, Patrick Tinney, Fawad Safari, Chris Tahaney, Dan White, Steve Ferguson, and Christian for making comments and asking questions. Steve, somebody's watching this and they don't know how to get a hold of you. How do they get a hold of you?
Steve@BoiseMattress.com. I think that's the first time I ever gave out my email address. I normally just tell you to find me on Facebook, but you can hit me at Steve@BoiseMattress.com. Glad to help. And I mean, I work with a lot of people that are starting in the business, that are trying to change things in the business. If you just need to vent, okay. If you're just going to call, or if you just want to bitch, I got better things to do. So don't my time is valuable. As Pete said, I have 8 kids. I coach football, run a couple stores, and rep. So my time is super valuable. So bitchers, stay away. But if you need help, I'm glad to help anybody I can.
And RJ comes in. Great information, gentlemen. Appreciate the candid conversation. Thank you, RJ. Thanks, Steve. Everybody go out there, have fun, and sell 1 million.
And thank you, Pete.
No,
Nobody
you,
is more giving in this industry than Pete Primeau. I don't know if you know that. Happy birthday again, because it was last week and I think it was after your show. But happy birthday again. Nobody's more giving than Pete.
Thanks, Steve.